Oh, you're back. In this video, I'm going to be doing even more sound deadening. Not really, that was boring as fuck. In case you forgot, here's that episode. Also, as usual, if this is your first time here, here's the first episode for you to feast your eyes on. So what's happening today? I'm going to figure out how to make a floor, plug holes, and get stuff ready for other stuff to happen. Also in this episode, I left my camera at home, so everything today is filmed on a phone using this marvelous tripod. Now roll the recycled awkward intro. So as it stands, the car's ready to have a floor base put in. The only problem is, I don't have one, and you can't buy them. So I'm going to make one out of ply. Then I'll try to secure it using existing bolt holes. Now you might see a slight problem here. The holes are recessed, so I'll have to make some kind of spacer to fill this gap, so I don't end up with a sagging, lumpy crater in the middle of the floor. So let's get on with it. Now the sensible option here is probably going to be to overlay the vinyl carpet and use it as a template. So I'm probably going to do that. So I'm probably going to have to do a bit of interpolation here. Let's hope this works. I'll also be making this panel in two halves, because it's annoying getting hold of a cheap piece of ply that's 1.4 meters wide. Plus it'll be much easier to fit, but also much harder to make correctly. So let's hope I can make it correctly. I'd better get started. So how well does it fit? Like an absolute glove. In this project, there's no need to measure twice. So as this is going to be in two halves, I have to decide where I've got to make the join. And I've chosen to do it at this fatter ridge in the middle. Simply because it's fatter and a bit better supported than the other places. It also makes it symmetrical and therefore prettier. So I'll draw a line and measure it and mark it, so I can then use it as a datum point. So what's a datum point, I hear you cry? Google it. So now it's just a case of doing the exact same thing for the other side. Now about those recessed mounting holes I mentioned earlier. So that solves that problem. Now all I have to do is plug the holes left by these ridiculous seats. So with that all drying, all the mounting holes are ready to go. All the spacers are in place. I've just got to remake this side. Don't you just love symmetry? Anyway, you don't have to watch that. For you, it'll seem like I made it in 1 second. So now we've got something that just about resembles a backpacker's van. I'm almost ready to throw a stained mattress in the back and go curb crawling outside the hostels. It's time for some cosmetics. I'm going to be using these self-adhesive vinyl floorboards. Now they were quite expensive, so I hope they're not rubbish. So I guess I'll have a go now. Now, I'm not usually one to blow my own trumpet when I've done something, but this looks bloody fantastic. So you'll also notice I haven't done these infill panels yet, simply because I haven't stopped at the shop. So they'll be done for the next video. Now from what I can tell, apart from obviously the things I'll have forgotten about that mean I'll have to rip all this out again, that's all the prep work needed for this. So I can finally start building stuff on top of it. Now that's all I'm going to do today, because I've spent all my energy getting a haircut. So if you want to see more, you'll have to wait until the next episode.